Hello, hello. How are you
Hello,
doing?
hello. I'm really great. We're just like buzzing this morning, aren't we? The energy is high.
Loving it, loving it. Oh, goodness, what are we talking about today?
Oh,
We are talking about transforming our life from the inside out. And oh my goodness, we are both so high energy on this topic right now because it is very real for us. And I thought I'll start, if you don't mind, Kat, I'll kick this off with
go
something
for
that
it.
I just experienced last night. And up until very recently, I have been pushing. I've been a little pushy one. I have. I've been pushing for things to be different, forcing life to go a particular way. I will openly say I would love financial freedom. I'd love, financial abundance. I really want a new dog in our life. I would love to live on a farm. And this is all great because this is a lot of goals that I want to work towards. However, I've really some pennies have been dropping all over the place recently. And in fact, it was where did I hear this? I'll pop this in the show notes of where I heard this. But it was that manifestation, it's not about the thing. Like we can want financial abundance, for example. Let's use the financial abundance. But actually, for me, why do I want that? And what is that going to bring me? And for me, it's going to bring me freedom to go on more adventures, to make a bigger difference in the world, and to do more. And I was sat literally last night. Me and my husband got a child-free night, which was incredible. We dropped the girls off. I think it was about 5:30, and we put Denzel, our dog, into the car. And we just, by the way, I would not have done this drinking because
No,
our plan would have been go to the nearest pub and have that time together there.
yeah.
But no, we do things differently, and I'm loving that. So we got in the car. Obviously, Dale had a few drinks in the day. He's still a drinker. That's absolutely fine. Um, and I drove us up to the hills, and it was we just had a moment where we sat on the grass and looked out over the most beautiful, beautiful view. And I thought, I feel so free, so adventurous, so abundant in all the things that I want to feel. Nothing externally has changed. We've not
No.
got that extra financial abundance right now, but I've got everything that I want. And it was a real moment for me of going, wow.
That's such a shift, isn't it? To focusing more on what you currently have, isn't it? And it's like when we
Yeah.
focus on what we already have, we have everything that we need. And the interesting thing in this is like you spoke about the manifestation of the thing. And it's not like you said, it's not the thing, is it? It's the feeling that the thing is going to bring. And it's
Yes.
how can we step into that now? And it's by choosing to focus on everything that we do have that can generate those feelings right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, absolutely. And it's just such an internal job. Like I say, nothing has changed externally for me massively, over this past year. But everything has changed internally. And it hasn't been easy. Like, it really hasn't. Like, to get here, me and Dale have had to have some hard conversations. It's not, we've healed very differently from all that we've been through. And, it's been it's been a journey. It's all been internal and it's all been me being the change that I want in my environment
Yeah.
and standing up, taking responsibility for how I want my life to look and feel. And it's a knock on effect. It really is.
So if we pick that apart quickly, if we can, and look at, so you've expressed that, let's say over the last 12 months, you've got these goals, you've got these desires, and that is, we need to have that, don't we, really? Because we need to
Yeah.
know where we're going, what we're
Yeah.
doing, what it's all for, why we want it. Um, but then there is that difference, and I can really relate to this, excuse me, in having these ideas of what we want and our dreams and our desires, and the difference between like just this complete and utter force, like forcing it,
Yeah.
make there's there's that, but then there's also to get, you know, to get things done, we have to do the things, don't we? So that there is still an element of action taking. We've got to, otherwise, you know, we can't just expect things to land on our doorstep with, you know, us not playing a part in that and not taking responsibility for that. But it just feels like this fine line, doesn't there, between doing the things and forcing it to come. So my question to you is, you said nothing has changed externally, but it's all changed internally. Can you, it's probably quite a big question to ask, but can you sort of even like pinpoint and give us an idea of like what has changed internally to allow you to do that, so allow you to see it differently? What's been that change?
It's a biggie, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think I would say it's taking responsibility for my own healing and my own growth, and deciding not just how I want, not just the things that I want, but the feelings that I want. And I think the thing I always come back to, and I actually wrote about this on my Instagram this morning, I love the little things in life, and I think we all do. Like, and when I get there to those goals and, you know, those incredible things, that change that I want to make in the world, like, you know, doing all the things that, you know I'm going to do, I would still be having a coffee in the garden with my husband and dog. And that's what I did this morning.
Yeah.
And I think to get there, it's taken me to stop, to really slow down, and to realign with who I truly am and what I truly want in life. Because a few short years ago, I thought I wanted to sell up and go and live abroad. And I think I've had to really reconnect with who I am and take responsibility for like creating my life around who I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that really does. It's going within. So when we talk about the inner work, it simply means to go within and ask ourselves these questions, because if we don't, we're just going to keep going on this autopilot, being driven and operated by our subconscious mind, which we know, you know, is accountable for 95% of the things we do. You know, it is autopilot. But when we really, really work on that 5% of that conscious awareness, and we make sure that is aligned with who we are, what we want, and why we want it, and tap back into that, we can only do that for ourselves. Nothing external will help us to go on that discovery, to reignite, you know, that 5-year-old girl that, what did she want? What did she do? And what were her dreams? It was the freedom. It was the creativity. It was the not giving two hoots what anybody thought about her, because she was unapologetically herself and embraced that and was a full expression of herself. And, you know, so the inner work is kind of getting back to that, isn't it? And then going, right, I'm now living in alignment with who I am. And what I'm hearing in this shift that you've made these last 12 months from external to internal is this deep sense of grounding and gratitude. It sounds to me like there's been a real maneuver in a choice through taking the personal responsibility for your thoughts and your behaviours, and going, I choose to see things differently. I choose to see, look at what I have around me.
Yeah.
And look what is possible. And that's a maneuver in itself. Like gratitude, there's so much science behind it. When we shift from a place of lack to abundance in our mind, we could have nothing, and on a literal sense, we could be living, you know, with bare minimum. But there's a choice, a personal choice, to see all that we do have. And that's what I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's kind of what I'm hearing, is this choice to how you see things, how you view things, your perspective, your outlook.
Yeah.
It feels like that has changed. And that really excites me, because that is possible for everyone.
Yeah.
Because that is the power that we claim back when we go, yeah, I am responsible for the thoughts that come into my mind. Nobody pops in there for me. Okay, somebody might say something and I might feel a certain way, and then I might start to run certain thoughts in my head. But that's just patterns, you know, repeating. So it's down to us to go inside and go, right, well, how do I want to think, feel, and behave?
Yeah.
And am I living in alignment with that?
Yeah. and this has been obviously when we've spoken about this is a big part of the club, is it's our thoughts that we don't realize the power in our thoughts. Like we kind of play around in the feelings and the actions and behaviors, and we strip back one more layer, what causes those feelings and then those actions and behaviors? It's the thoughts that create the feelings, that then create the actions that we take, that then give us those results. So if we go right back and we think, like, we have a feeling and what's that thought behind it? Oh my goodness, there is so much power there, because we can change that thought.
Yeah.
And I think this is what I've been doing. And it can feel, it's like you just have these moments of you're like, oh my goodness, like aha moments, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where you just go, wow, I've been doing all of this. And it just all slots into place. And that was definitely what happened with me last night and this morning. Like it just slotted into place. Like if I'd have, like I had actually, I'd put a dog, hadn't I? Here's a good one. I'd put a dog on my manifestation, on my vision board, hadn't I? And this, I don't think I shared this in the club. I don't think I've shared this before, have I? But it was right in the middle. It was a beautiful Labrador in the middle of my vision board. And I don't know when I'd done it, but a few months later, I was at Dogs Trust where I volunteer on a Thursday, and this exact dog was in Dogs Trust. And he was right there. He was exactly how I imagined, full of cuddles, full of love, exactly who I'd been looking at on my phone and on my vision board. It was my wallpaper, and I saw it every day. And it wasn't until about a few days later that I actually put two and two together and was like, wow. And I put these two photos together and I was like, this is the dog that I've been manifesting. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, so I don't know what unfortunately, fortunately. Anyway, long story short, it was wide open. We could have gone and viewed this dog. The first people on reserve fell through, and it was wide open. However, my husband wasn't there. He was not there at all. And I put our name down without him even knowing. And that's terrible, isn't it? Like, and I was like, then I had to go when it was wide open. I was like, oh no, now I have got to tell him and ask him. And it wasn't the right time for him. And all of these universe signs were going, this is the dog, Charlotte, this is the dog. I remember making that decision. I wanted to obviously make that decision very quickly and speak to Dale because I didn't want him to be in kennels for any longer than he had to be. So I think it was literally I think it was about 5 o'clock that I heard that he was available. And then I knew I had to let them know in the morning. And even before making that call, I was going to a networking event, and this car pulled out, and I was following it, and I looked up to see its number plate and it just said dog. Oh my God. So in my head, all of these signs were going, this is the dog for you, Charlotte. You've got to do whatever it takes to get this dog home. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I was pushing, and I was literally just reading into, and anyway, this dog was not meant for us. He went to an incredible home. And I now look back at that, and I did manifest that dog. I needed those cuddles. I needed to be in his company for those. I think he was actually there for just how it worked out. I walked him 3 times. And then he went to his home, and I knew he wasn't for us. But that I'd manifested him in that way. I think what I'm trying to say in this, like, if he had come into our life then, if I'd have forced and made everything, if I'd have made that decision, let's say on behalf of me and Dale, and just brought him home, it wasn't right. And I knew it wasn't deep down. But what was right, that he was in my life for those 3 weeks to have that love. And so it's not always the way we see him. And I think it's just this step back in not pushing and forcing things, and really just taking everything for exactly what it is in that moment, and then everything falls into place. I know we will have a dog in our life at some point. Like, it's coming. I know it is. and I've very actively recently been scrolling a lot of rescue sites and dog sites and going a bit wild. And I'm like, now after yesterday and this morning, I'm like, Charlotte, chill.
Yeah.
Chill your beans.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it
Because
now.
literally, I just sat there this morning and I was like, I've got everything. A dog coming into our life is going to enhance it. I know it is. It's going to bring more love,
Yeah.
more everything into our life. But I think the point is not waiting for that new thing or that change to have that. It's there now.
No, that. Two things here. Two things. Three things. Three things. In terms of the forcing and the universe and the plan, there's a choice here and a belief. Like I have a belief that the universe has a plan for us, and it was always a great plan. It's always a positive plan, and it's always a good intention.
Yeah.
So there was a choice in your moment to say, oh, all these signs in the universe, of course, clearly this dog is meant for me. Oh man, universe, what's going on? Why haven't I had the dog? But you've been able to choose to see that through your belief that the universe is always out to do good for you. The universe has got your back, that there's something better in store, that you were in that dog's life for those times that you were, to give, for you to give him all that love and for him to give you that love in return. However, the universe has gone, no, you're forcing this. This isn't the right time.
Yeah.
And had it allowed you to let that dog into your home, that I just getting the feeling that might not have been a good thing for you and your relationships, you know?
No.
So the universe has gone, I've got something better in store. This dog right now isn't meant for you. It's popped in for various reasons. And it's that trusting, isn't it? It's that not looking at it and going, oh, I'm working so hard on this, and it's, oh, this should have been this, and what's, this always happens to me, and
Yeah.
it's actually, there is something better in store.
And
What?
that was the
Yeah.
lesson that he came into my life for. He
There you
came
go.
into my life to be the conversation starter between me and my husband. Like,
Perfect.
that was it. Had we
That's the
not had
messenger. He
that,
was a messenger,
he
man,
was
wasn't
a
he?
messenger,
Messages pop
literally.
up in different ways, and he was a messenger to go have some hard conversations with your husband
Yeah,
to make your relationship better.
exactly.
Boom.
Literally.
Love it.
Oh, it was such a moment. Sorry.
Second thing, sorry, quickly, was this whole idea of, like what you just expressed about, like waiting until you get the change to be happy and joyous and that. And like, I just want to kind of just, let's remove that, because we'll get to the change and it's in our natural makeup that we'll always want more and we'll always want to grow. So we'll if we don't enjoy the journey to the thing, and then we get to the thing, the goal, we're going to get there. We're going to go, is that it? Because we'll be on for the next thing. So the better shift is to enjoy every single step. And we do that, don't we, by being proud of every step that we take, and just choosing to enjoy it and choosing to see. And I think this is a reflection of where you've been at in your journaling this morning with hold on a minute. This is all the journey. I have everything right here, right now in front of me that I can be grateful for and that I can love and I can feel abundant with if I just choose to see it.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
It really is. Yeah. Oh, sorry, number 3.
No, go on.
No, I love it. No, go for it.
I was going to say the third thing, just for any listeners that are thinking, okay, this makes sense. This is great. I'm excited. But it's obviously the thought work, isn't it? It's changing those thoughts from, I'm really struggling to see what I've got. So what I'd recommend is like the how is there, rather than, let's think of the thought of like, if you're feeling real lack and you want to feel super abundant, like affirmations, they are amazing and they have their space and they do absolutely work their magic. But it might just not sit well with you if you think, well, if I just repeat to myself every morning, I'm so abundant and so wealthy, like they're just words. I don't think they'll really feel like connected because they'll feel so far removed.
Yeah.
So it's just about bridging that gap between where you are and those thoughts, those feelings now, and where it is you want to be, and just choosing the next best thought that you can get on board with.
So I'd love to like just share my experience of this, because that was me. I've been repeating to myself for goodness knows how long, I am abundant. But I didn't feel it. I didn't have that yet. But what I have done is fine-tuned what abundance means to me.
So you can feel it.
So I can feel it. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
what is that? Like, yeah, I mean, we all, you know, obviously money, we can do more, we can be more, we can go on those adventures, we can live life to the full. Like we can, like money allows us to do that. But what I've really in fine tuning that, and actually, what is it truly that I want in that? It is the freedom. It's the freedom to go and do those things. And no, we couldn't have booked a overnight stay to, I don't know, Dublin last night.
Yeah.
But what we could do is go and get lost in the hills with no time constraints. I could, like, Dale's been going on about these caves, right? in the local hills that we've got for ages. And I haven't really been listening. So I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, just a cave. Like honestly, they were blooming incredible. They
They
went
look
miles
incredible.
back. And I was like, I was not open to that. Why, Charlotte? Like, and that's not me
Mm.
being tough on myself, but I was like, what adventure can I live right now? There's loads, like last night cost us nothing. We
Oh,
put a
love it.
drink in our bag and we just went and got, I mean, we did call it the pub actually because Denzel really needed a drink, bless him. And we had a dandelion and burdock, which was very
Oh,
lovely.
love a dandelion
Um,
bird.
yeah, so we did that on the way home, but we just put what we needed in our bags and it cost us
Mm.
nothing. But that was all that I wanted. That's all I want to feel when the money comes, and I can get it right now.
Yeah.
And it was that just, yeah, really sitting in what does that abundance actually
Yeah.
mean to me? What is that feeling that that is going to bring me?
That's a great exercise to do, isn't it? You know,
Mm,
putting pen to paper, like how do I want to feel? Whether it's confidence,
yeah,
abundance,
yeah,
grateful. Okay, what does that look and feel like to me?
hmm,
How can I find that? You know, what is available to me now? Okay, and
yes,
then you might want more, and yeah, let's normalize that. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
But let's do an exercise and like, what can I, you know, where can I find that now? I guarantee you'll be able to find it. And it's this feeling of like some of the most wealthiest in a financial term, most,
the most,
most, the most wealthiest people in the world are like clinically depressed and the
Mm,
saddest.
yeah,
So we know money, yes, it absolutely brings freedom. It makes things easier. Of course it does. But those that have very little can
mm,
also be the happiest. And that is the power of their mind and their choices.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's why the inner work is so important, guys.
It is. It is. It's stopping, it's stepping off the cycle of life that we get on, the hamster wheel, the rat race, whatever you want to
Mm,
call it,
mm,
just realigning to who we truly are and what we truly want and what that means, what that looks and feels like. That's where happiness is. And it is this transforming our lives from the inside out, not the outside in. Because when
yeah,
we get the things, that doesn't mean we're going to be internally happy. But when we're internally happy, the external things I genuinely believe will come with such ease.
they do. They
And
do.
that's what I feel in a real powerful place right now where I'm just like, it's coming.
Yeah.
All those things, I'm not waiting for it, but it's
No.
coming in the right time. I carry on in this vibration, in this energy. I'm loving life,
Yeah.
literally.
And I just shout out to just say, please don't put it off any longer. Like, I
No.
know as soon as you start to do the inner work, you'll be like, oh my God, wish I'd done this sooner.
Yeah,
And
100%.
let's remove these blocks, these excuses of time, because there will never be, you're never going to be gifted all this time. Here's the time to do the inner work.
Mm-mm.
Let's not do that any longer.
No.
Let's integrate it because it's a part of who you become. It really is. And
Mm.
it's taking that, it's that decision to go, right, I'm taking personal responsibility for this. I'm going to make the time because it's
Yeah.
important. I'm going to choose, instead of a 10-minute scroll tonight, it'll take me 10 minutes to write, you know, what does abundance look like to me? Or what does confidence look like to me? Or
Mm.
three things I'm grateful for today. Three things that brought me joy today.
Yeah.
What I'm grateful for today, what I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Mm.
How do I want to feel? You know, let's just start
Yeah.
asking ourselves these questions with the time that we currently have that we're using in ways that don't benefit us.
Mm.
But that's down to us.
Yeah.
We can excuse ourselves or we can take responsibility and go for it. And that's a
100%.
choice. So,
Yes.
oh,
But we have
you're,
some. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Are you
go,
good?
go, go. No,
Yeah.
go, go.
I was going to say we have some exciting news, and the membership is going to be open very, very soon. So what we thought we would do is pop the link to get on the wait list. Like, you do not have to take this journey alone, and there are so many incredible women on this journey inside of the membership. We're doing the inner work together. Like, we know that time is one of those. We can always use it as an excuse, and we can always not make it for ourselves, because that can feel very unnatural and comfortable to put ourselves first in that way. But what the membership does is it gives you that time to literally do this work, to get clear, to understand yourself, to go on this discovery, and to live the life that you want now. So Absolutely. Yeah, I'll pop the link for that in there. And yeah, this was wonderful.
Come join us, because we normalize making time for yourself.
Yeah,
we normalize looking after yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you do, everybody benefits. Like, we can drop the guilt.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the best for them as well as ourselves. It's like a win-win.
It is.
It really is.
No,
so let's normalize that. Come join us, and let's do let's stop with we know what we've got to do. We know the stuff, but this is your space to start doing it, and you'll see the differences. Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Yes, can't wait. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, evening, morning, week, wherever you're at when you listen to this, and we will speak to you very soon.
Speak to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.